He is the He is the Cisco. He won't let us down. He is the Cisco. He won't let us down. That was Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And what was happening was the unseen spiritual beings had a script they were writing, and Cisco was the captain, but he was also a prophet. And he would fade in and out of reality. So he was on the ship, Deep Space Nine, and he was seeing these visions. He is the Cisco. He won't let me down. But at the same time, he would fade back into the real world, and he was writing on the wall the storyline of He was actually writing the story of Deep Space Nine. The movie that he was in, he was actually in a funny farm, a psych ward, and he said, "I need my chalk." He said, "I've got to finish this, I got to finish this." He was actually writing the script for the movie in the room while he was in the crazy house, the funny farm. That's actually what you're in right here. You're actually writing it out. Now, God's in ultimate control. God has a calling for your life, but you're also writing out scripts. And you're moving this way, but because God has called you to be a saint and have a soft heart, even though you're trying to write the script to go this way, God is moving you this way. You think you're writing the script, and you do have free will, but God works things out in such a way that you end up where He wanted you to go to begin with. And the way that works is source never changes. Source never changes. So no matter which direction you go, the same calling in your life is already written. So if you go over here, it's kind of like a railroad track. You might take a little turn here, but the railroad track comes back to the main track eventually. You just have a little delay, you know. You got off track. Let's say you got off track when you were 18 or 20. So you got off track and you went into a different track, but you found out that track led right back to this track. Like Thanos said in that scene where he says, "Your failure led you right back to me." In other words, he said, "I am inevitable. I am inevitable." He said, your failure led you right back to me. That's what he said. And so that's what God's doing. If He's called His elect out, His people, and His people try to go their own way, when they go their own way, they fail. And they run back to God. "Lord, save me. Lord, help me." Your failure leads you right back to God, because His calling, the hound of heaven, he's fishing. He throws the fishing rod. I mean the lure off the fishing rod. He throws that out there. He's pulling you back in, and you try to go your own way. Your failure leads you right back to God. You took this path. Okay, so look at all the time you wasted. So you're on this path. And this is this is God's will, right? This is your path you're supposed to be on, right? So this is your path right here. Let's do a little experiment. Let's do the experiment. Let's play it out in real time because I'm talking to somebody. And I want you to see it play out. I want you to see it play out. So my destination is right there. That tattoo sign, right? Or whatever that is, antique sign. So that's right there, but I take my own path, right? So that was right there, but I decided to take my own path. Okay, so I took my own path. Even though the destination was right there, I'm going way out of the way. Can I get through there? No. Can I get through there? No. I'm blocked. I can't get through there. That's blocked. Trying to get back to where I was going. I took my own way it was right there. Doing it God's way. It was right there. You could almost taste it. You could touch it. It was right there. Can I get a shortcut back? Let's see. Can I cut through here? Nope. No through way. Can you get back? You tried to do it your way and you got sidetracked. Imagine this, every time I'm passing a house, that's 1 year. Let's say 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. So 10 years, there's 6 months, 6 months. Oh, I need to make this turn then. This will get me back on track. 6 months, 6 months. So that's like 10 years that you wasted because you took the wrong turn. Hello? You wasted 10 years because you took the wrong turn. And you're seeing the destiny, right? You're seeing it, and it's like, okay, it's right there. I can see it. There it is, right down there. It's about 10 telephone poles down there. But you decide to take another wrong turn. And then you got to make a U-turn. That's a policeman. I'm not going to make a U-turn right here. So then you make a U-turn and you finally get to your destiny. So you wasted 15 years. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? I think so. It was right there. You could touch it. And some people never get to their destiny. They just die because they just keep taking the wrong turn. And so, can anybody hear me? Well, if I take a bunch of turns, maybe I'll get there. No, slow down, be still, and know that I am. You don't have to rush, because when you try to rush, it takes you around the mountain 3 or 4 more times, and another 5 years goes by. But if you just slow down, it might be 6 months instead of 5 years or 10 years. It might be 4 months. It might be 6 months. It might be a year, but it's better than 5 years, right? Because if you're leaning, he says, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. So he's going to get you there in a year. If you go the old pattern, like you've been trained from a child, you watched your family, then you were a teenager and you made bad choices, and all the choices never got you to your destination. And then you've wasted 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and you see it, and you finally wake up and you say, okay, I'm not getting off this path this time. This is it. Hell or high water, I'm staying on God's path. Whether it appears or not. So Moses, he saw the promised land, but he couldn't enter in. Now Jesus paid it all. We're in the new covenant. We're under grace. So if you can see the promised land, it can happen, but you can't get off track. You can't take these U-turns and I think so there it is. I could see it. I can even touch it almost. And then you decide, I'm going to go back to the old patterns. We'll take a turn here. gonna take the old patterns, and it messed you. Another year went by. Let me see if I can take a shortcut and get back up there. I can get back. Let me take this shortcut. See how uphill it is? You're taking a shortcut, but it's an uphill battle. It would have been just straight up, straight. It's a rocky road too. It's a rough path. You might even get a flat tire here. See, so I learned my lesson again for the 4th, 5th, 6th time. So it's right here. I can see it. Right down there. Three telephone poles. 1, 2, 3. I finally made it, but I wasted 15 years. And maybe 20 years. Maybe 50 years. But I finally learned my lesson. I got there. Because I quit trying to do it in the energy of the flesh and do it in the spirit walk. I think that's a good object lesson. I wasted a lot of gas just to teach you that object lesson. I hope you appreciate it. Please hit the like button. That's an inside joke for somebody. Please hit the like button and subscribe. She said, I like how you don't beg people to subscribe. So I'm just doing that as a joke. I hope you understand that I spent some gasoline to teach you an object lesson that you waste if you just have patience and do it God's way. You're not going to waste 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And for the young people out there, this is real. Ask about 50 older people that you know, that you rub shoulders with somewhere at the mall if you need to. Say, could you have gotten where you wanted faster if you would have just listened to God? And every one of them's going to say, yes, I tried to do it my way. And so if every older person is going to agree with you, young person, so you better listen to their advice. You better listen to their advice. I was over at the other property thinking about putting a mailbox out, and I come in here today and they got a mailbox right there. Yeah, but I want to do it right now. I want to do it my way. I want to have it my way. This ain't no, fast food. Fast food messed people up. Fast food messed you up. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, pickles, onions, lettuce, cheese on a sesame seed bun. I want it my way. McDonald's messed you up as a child. You can have it your way. But even if you did waste 20, 30, 40, 50 years, guess what? You wouldn't be who you are now. You wouldn't have the wisdom if you wouldn't have made those mistakes. You might have had it in a different way, but now you can help other people who are going through it. You can have compassion on other people. Because there's other people crying. You've done cried so many tears, you don't have any more tears. But there's other people younger than you crying. And they need you to explain what I just explained. See, in the book of Ezekiel, God told him to roll over on the ground and show Israel. Show that because they have a hard heart, I want you to go over there and do this and roll over and actually portray it in your physical embodiment. Portray it so they can see their own sin and see their own rebellion. And they still didn't turn back. Even if one raised from the dead, they still wouldn't repent. When Jonah went through Nineveh now, 3 million repented. And Jonah was a rebellious prophet. And he had more compassion on a little juniper tree, little piddly, than the souls of 3 million people. Now that tells you how God can use a selfish prophet to win souls. Jonah, do what I tell you. Period. And Jonah knew. He told those people who were running that ship, they said, all these waves, who's the one that sinned? And Jonah said, throw me over and the waves will go away. So they finally threw him over. They didn't want to, but they did. God had prepared a great fish. God will scourge every son he receives. And that would apply to daughters too. It ain't no joke, people. Keep on going. And you'll see. But God can take the dark and turn it to light. What the devil meant for evil, God can turn for good.